Hello and welcome to Bert's Imperfect Bakes, the channel where it's okay to not bake perfectly every time. I'm Bert and this week we're in a different household and I'm going to be making Auntie Maggie's suggestion of some cheese scones. I'm going to do 2 cheese scones, so we're going to have blue cheese and some normal cheddar. So we're going to start off with some flour into your bowl and some baking powder. If you can open the baking powder, that is. Oh, there's Molly, come to say hello. And add the butter. Quite a simple recipe scones, to be honest, just flour, butter and a bit of baking powder. That's it, basic mix. Get your hands in there and give it a good mix so it's a bit like breadcrumbs, and then add some cheese. I changed my mind and didn't want to add the cheddar first. I had to actually cut up the blue cheese first. Pop that in there and then add some milk. Cut it up a bit more, the cheese, because it was a bit lumpy. Then add the milk and then stir that with a knife, a butter knife, and flour magically appears by your side. Give that a good mix so it's all combined, and then grease your baking tray. I'm just using the leftover bits of butter from the bowl I used earlier, and then lightly flour your work surface, Molly again. And then turn out your dough onto the work surface and shape it so it's all ball-like. And I was talking to my sister at this time, I wasn't talking to myself, FYI. Shape that and pat it down so it's about that thick. And then get your cutter, flour your cutter so it's easier to extract your shapes. Move your hair out of the way, and there you go, there's a scone. And cut out another one. And another. And another, and so on until you have about 8 from this mix. 10 at a push, depending on how big your cutter is. Are you thinking you're not going to get 8 out of that? Little do you know. And the last one is too small to be cut into a shape, so just shape it by hand. Voila, 8. And then put some milk on the tops of each one. And I decided to add some cheddar to the top. Press it down slightly. Get a nice good helping on there. Make it nice and cheesy. Oh, and also your oven needs to be preheated to about 200 or 180, depending on your oven. The oven I was using is quite old, so I put it up to 200. And bake them in the oven for 20 minutes. Once you've finished faffing with bits of cheese. Laughing. So this is a bit of a broken filming session. Obviously I was at grandmother's house earlier and tonight I am at home again. So these have been cooling for a good few hours. They were cooking in the oven for 20 minutes at about 200 degrees fan, and they are now nice and browned on top. Let's give one a go. So they're cooked inside and they have some nice blue cheese situation going on. Add a nice dollop of butter. Let's see, shall we? These are really nice and cheesy. The blue cheese isn't overpowering, and the other cheese that I put in, which I put on top, you can sort of taste that as well because it's melted down into the bottom. Highly recommend these. Obviously don't use blue cheese if you're allergic to penicillin. So if you like this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell icon below. And if you have any suggestions for anything you'd like me to make, then please put them in the comments below. Thanks for watching. See you next time. So I asked Sister if she'd like to try some blue cheese. This is her reaction. Not a fan. Still chewing it though. Definitely not a fan, and off she goes to throw up.